I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is January 14th, 2020. In this video, I'm going to print out a show-off piece, a Wonder Woman bust I found online to kind of show, without doing a lot of tweaks, how good quality you can do on the Prusa Mini out of the gate. Okay, I wanted to get a show piece together that I could download and print, and I was thinking something like a statue to show how well the Prusa Mini prints without doing a lot of adjustments to the detail. So I was looking around, I saw something on Twitter like a week or two ago, and I saw this beautiful Wonder Woman bust, and I thought, this is a cool one. And I finally found where it's at. So if you go to My Mini Factory, you can search for a 3D print Wonder Woman bust. It looks like 106630, and I'll put a link in the show notes. And it's made by this guy, David, I hope I don't mutter his name, Oistman. It looks like he designs a couple of prints. Now, the one thing I like about this, I went through and did detail on this. He put two versions out. He put one version out, and one version he realized, I guess, needed supports. And I'm very anti-support. I'd rather have stuff that doesn't need support. So he went back, tweaked the design a little bit, and so I think he tilted the head or something. So now it no longer needs support. So perfect. I love this. So with this, let me download this real quick and kind of go through slicing it and getting ready to print. So I'll just go over here, click on download, which I did earlier. Okay, you're thinking. There we go. And I'll open up this, and you'll see what he has. He has, there's one with no support. That's the one I want. So I'll just copy that STL file out to my desktop here. And I'll open up my Prusa slicer, and I've downloaded the new Prusa slicer. I want to get all the latest stuff, and I think I had that in my last video. And then just drop this on. And now he did design this. Now, also speaking to there's going to be a lot of new people coming for the Prusa Mini who don't know what slicers are, don't know what's going on. If you see this, so we drop this in here, and you'll see the objects outside the print area. So I think he set this up to print probably on a Prusa i3 Mark III or something bigger. And so you can see it's a little too tall. So you can see right there, you'll see this the shade. Not only does it have a wrong color, but you see right there is probably where it's too tall. And if I look over here, I can click on this, and I think we go to, are you going to tell me where you're at? Oh, 200. So it's going up, the Z is going all the way to 200. So let's change the size. I'll go 75%. And I'll change everything down. No, I didn't quite do that, did I? Oh. I'm going to mismeasure. Since I did this before, let me double check. So I don't think I went that far down. Yeah, I think I went to the maximum. So I tried to get as big as I possibly could without going over. And I think I got to 170. That should be my limit. If I go to 86, I think I will be outside of bounds. Oh, no. I guess not, but I'll go down to 170. And now you see it's green, life is good. And now, especially for those who are new, you can do a lot more detailed prints. And when it comes to detailed prints, you have to change a couple of things. One thing, if you want to go more and more detailed, you want to reduce your your layer height. And typically, I like doing things at 0.2 fast because I don't care so much about really high quality. Now for this, I'm going to go to 0.5 quality mini. Now you can go lower. Now every time you go lower and lower, it's going to take more and more time. And at some point you get diminishing returns. Now for this purpose, I did 0.5. I've already printed a few of them out at 0.15. So I'll go 0.15 quality. Prusa PLA. There we go. Leave my infill like that. Let me look at my print settings. Infill is a 15% gyroid. I think that should be perfect for this one. So there's a layer height, and you can go down pretty low. You can go down to 0.005. It's going to take a lot of time. Also, if you want to get ultra detail, which I have not done yet, now that I've got two printers, I'm probably going to experiment with this a little bit more. One thing you'd want to do is change your nozzle out. So the nozzle on this, if I look at my printer settings, you'll see the nozzle is 0.4. And that's you can think of it like, if you're not used to this, you can think of it like the size of a pen. You get different pen sizes or pencil lead. You get different sizes. The thicker it is, the more it's coming out, or the thinner it is, the less it's coming out. And so typically, it seems like everyone uses 0.4 at this level, and it works just fine. But I'm interested and someday do an ultra fine print, and that would mean getting a smaller nozzle and doing lower, smaller layers. But that means increasing the time exponentially. If I got a really small nozzle and I went to the smallest layer, it would probably take 4 or 8 times longer to print. You get better quality, but it's, you'll see that as I do this, it's pretty good. And this is a nice piece to show off. And I want to show off how good it does without going to that crazy level of quality. So here we go, 0.5 quality there, and I'll hit slice and prep this file. And there we go. And, oh, still not quite done slicing. And for those who are new to the slicer, over here I can drag this and look at the different levels and what they're going to look like as they print out, which is kind of cool. And also it color codes it because it prints differently depending on what it's doing on the inside or the border. Here you can see the borders are in yellow. Okay, there we go. So export, and we'll see this is about 10 hours and 29 minutes. Now the one I did was a little bit longer. So I'm actually going to do the one I did before. Let me see, since I already filmed it. Let's see, the one I did before is, let me go open it up. Up 11 hours and 48 minutes. So close. The one I did before comes out to 11 hours and 48 minutes based on what I did on that. So I guess I had slightly different settings. I probably had a bigger infill. But we'll go off that. It's close enough. But to show you, here's about 10 hours. It's going to look pretty good. But if I go down to like 0.005, and if I do this, you'll see that's going to go, if I slice it, you'll see it's probably going to go to 40 hours. And that's even with this 0.4 millimeter head. If I got a smaller head, it would probably be 2 or 3 times that again beyond whatever that is going to go. So let me slice this just to show you. There we go. We're going to 1 day, 18 hours. So you see that, well, we went from 10 hours to 40 hours. So yeah, 4 times roughly. So 10 hours to 24 plus 18, let's call it 20. So 40 plus hours. Yeah, 4 times. Big time. And I bet you if we got a smaller print, it'd probably be 80 hours. So that'd be a long print. And you'd have diminishing returns. I don't think you'd get a much higher quality. But at some point, I do want to do a video on that where I'm going to swap out nozzles and do a finer print. But anyway, let's go print this out and show you the numbers. And actually, I'll pull my actual information I did on the one that I'm actually doing because they're slightly different. I think my infill might be slightly different. But you could use what I have right here, and you'll be close enough to what I did. Okay, I re-looked over the print that I made earlier. That this is what I actually recorded. And I did it 90% size, not 85, which gets us to 180 for the height, which is the maximum you can do on the Prusa Mini. And I have printed out a bunch of them, and I like them a lot. I think it's a really good showpiece. And my daughter has requested them in many different colors. I got red, I got blue, I got light blue, and I'm about to go print the pink too. She's all over it. Now, at this point, hopefully I'm taking, it's hard to show via the camera how good these are. So I'm going to take some close-up shots. And you can see some striations if you get close, but it's a really good showpiece at this level. And it's really impressive for something that's a $400 printer. So hopefully I'm getting some pictures in here that you can see up close of different angles on this. I highly suggest printing this out. It's really cool to show off. Okay, so for those of you maybe new or have seen some, well, new and old, I like to do, when I'm doing my videos, I like to go over the numbers. Because if you're new to this, or if you want to introduce somebody to 3D printing, they're not sure of some of the numbers behind it. How long does it take to print? How much does it cost to print? How much electricity does it use? So I like to always go over these numbers. And so to set some things up that people may not know, when I'm doing my filament, I always price it when I'm doing my numbers at $20 per kilogram. And so then I weigh what I say, and I say, oh, this is 1 kilogram. That means it costs $20 worth of filament. And I also, for electricity, I keep track of it. I have a little meter here, but I'm basing my electricity off 10 cents per kilowatt. Now, a lot of us around the country pay different amounts, even different amounts at different times. But if I do it at 10 cents per kilowatt, it makes it easy for someone to change the numbers I made. So 10 cents, if yours is 20 cents, you just double my cost. If yours is 15 cents, you just add 50% to it. So I just do that just so people can more simply calculate the numbers on what they see. But also it's nice to get a general idea of what's going on. So it can help people make decisions to buy a 3D printer, but they know that things aren't so expensive to print. But anyway, for this print, let's go over the numbers. It took 13 hours and 5 minutes to print. It took 8.3 cents of electricity, and it weighs 0.088 kilograms. And at $20 per kilogram, that comes out to $1.76 worth of material. And if you add that all up, this is $1.84 to print this. So under $2 to print something like this with with 15 or 20% infill, and so I think 15% infill. And so this is pretty cool. I like this. I think it's amazing what you can do for under $2, and I think it's a great print. So hopefully I'll probably put a couple more pictures here at the end just to kind of zoom in and show different details. But for those who are questioning the Prusa Mini, whether it can print really well, it can print really well. And I'm not even doing detailed prints. All I'm doing right now is just doing, I did a 0.15 layer height versus a 0.2. That's the only difference for me. Didn't change the nozzle, didn't go to great detail. I did do the 0.15 quality, which I guess must run a little slower, I'm not sure. But great print. Also, this guy did a good job. I really appreciate someone who puts together a nice model. That's not, my channel's rated G, so there are some things out there that might not be appropriate for kids. But this is a nice, pretty model without doing anything inappropriate for a G-rated channel. And I really appreciate the guy that he changed it so that I can print it without supports. I love that. So I'm probably going to go donate to this guy. This guy does have a Patreon account, which I'm not so keen on getting stuck in a Patreon account unless I was really going to follow this guy a lot. But he does have some other prints on My Mini Factory that he does charge for. So I might buy, I think that's the only way I can get him money. So I might go buy one of those and get him, $3 or $5 because he did a real good job. This is really beautiful. So anyway, yeah, download this, print this. It's great. I just wanted to show how well the Prusa Mini can do out of the box without going crazy into detail. So there you go, the Prusa Mini. It's good. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.